Today we're diving into an epic tale about a guy born into a family that hates music more than a pumpkin hates being boiled. All music stops in town, passing musicians too, as if music's a supervillain. This family pressure choked him, but Greg didn't give up, dreaming of being a legend like Delacroix, while shining shoes and fantasies of his musical miracle. By chance, he learned from a cowboy about a Day of the Dead music contest in town, igniting his dreams. To groove on his dreams, little Greg secretly crafted a guitar, making it his personal music offering. In that dusty, abandoned attic, he poured all his learning for music into his practice, repeatedly following the TV footage to rehearse his idol's songs, behaving just like a focused musical detective. On the eve of the Day of the Dead, Greg cautiously asked his family if he could join the competition, and surprise, he faced a unanimous no. Only on the Day of the Dead can their relatives pop in for a visit, and that means putting their photos up on the altar. Huge business. Without photos, they're trapped at home. Grandma turned into a Day of the Dead tour guide, explaining these crucial traditions to Greg. That evening, he planned a stealthy rooftop getaway but ran smack into his dad to talk about a tragic plot twist. He had to hide his guitar and dog under the table, but the pub snack toppled photos panic mode. That's when he discovered that the folded piece held the key to his destiny. Great-great-grandpa took off with the guitar to chase his dreams. Since then, he disappeared, and the family relied on great-great-grandma, while Papa became taboo. Music suffered due to family tragedy. Greg realized that it's the legendary music god's guitar. Just then, forgetful grandma pointed at the photo, muttering Dad, surprising Greg greatly. That is the music god Delacroix. Greg shot up to the attic like he was launched from a rocket. He quickly grabbed the poster of the music god and was stunned to find the guitars were practically twins. Talk about a joy explosion. How could his family still pose his dreams now? But just like that, a bucket of cold water doused his burning passion. We don't even know this guy. Well, that's fine, because he ditched the family ages ago. You're just asking for trouble if you want to follow in his steps. Dad jumped in with his rebuttal. But you said only family would guide me. Greg countered helplessly, as if his musical passion had ignited the fuse for a family feud. I absolutely forbid you to touch music. Dad's roar rolled like thunder, giving Greg goosebumps. Grandma couldn't take it anymore, her eyes blazing, and she seemed like a lightning bolt smashing Greg's. Tears of despair sparkled in Greg's eyes. All he wanted was to flee this music taboo house. The music competition was underway, but without a guitar, Greg wasn't even eligible. Talk about a tragic finish. With hope, Greg begged for a guitar but got cold indifference. He lamented to the statue of the music god, when suddenly Mink's encouragement sparked the glimmer of hope. He weaved through the crowd, using the fireworks as cover, smashing a window at the music god's memorial, thinking, Gramps want mine. As Greg strummed the strings, marigold petals glowed like magic. Suddenly, they didn't notice Greg was there. It was just bizarre, and he hurried away in a panic. He didn't want to get caught, but they both screamed at each other in shock, making the whole scene hilariously chaotic. Greg knocked an old man apart, escaping, who yelled at him, only to be his great-grandpa. Receipt to great-grandma. Yes, your great-grandpa. What a crazy twist. Aunt Victoria didn't seem entirely gone, but she didn't look too lively either. I'll go find my Aunt Esmeralda. Maybe she can help me. She's in a bit of a fix, won't make it tonight. Without photos, it's useless to stick around, Uncle Oscar commented, as if it was all just regular business. The bridge opens on the Day of the Dead for family reunion with valid ID, the photos on the altar. The unluckiest guy fails as no one worships him. Deported if forces, his way home isn't easy. But there was another guy trapped too, Greg's great-great-grandma, Miss Merla. My family puts my photo on the altar every year. You old box, you're just a decoration. Let me tell you, Greg's family could give the Grinch a run for his money. Why don't you have my photo? Merla got a bit snappy. We've run into someone. There's someone alive on the Arrow. Merla finally grasped the issue. There's definitely some connection here, she exclaimed, as the tension skyrocketed. To lift the curse, you absolutely must earn their blessings. So simple, once you get their blessing, Greg can return to normal. If he could recover after sunrise, that'd be perfect. Oh my goodness, what's happening to my hand? Greg exclaimed, realizing with astonishment that his fingers were beginning to transform. Send me your blessing so I can go home, and I promise I won't touch music again, Greg pleaded, vowing to keep music out of